Hello everybody, Cetus here and welcome back to EcoQuest. Last video I kind of rushed the ending because I had work being grumpy and calling me to do something that they have all of the instructions to do themselves without calling me, but yeah, that's what happens when you outsource tech support. They don't follow instructions. And they end up making people very annoyed. I don't know. Anyways, in the last video, we did some more wandering around. We basically just solved some random puzzles to get to this point that we're at now. And I cut it here because I think this is my second most favorite track in the game coming up, and I'm just going to go into the screen and let it sit for a while because the music's kind of cool. And it was about to immediately go into it with no time to do so. So, I don't think I have actually saved it. I just let it sit here. Let's lock the mouse and save, and I'm just gonna kick back and listen. Oh, by the way, while I was fixing this work problem, I had this like dark, evil music playing in the background, which was kind of amusing. But yeah, so let's go explore the glowing green hole.
A group of metal drums lie rusting in this hidden spot. A familiar greenish glow seeps from the rusting patches in the metal.
And this is why I like the MT-32 version of the game.
Now Adam realizes what the Oracle meant by poison of the deep.
Yeah, it mostly repeats after that. But I do like this track, and the only other track I think I like more is the final, second to last track. So yeah, we have stumbled across a toxic dumping zone, which is probably killing everything. And if we look at the prophecy, we found the armor, and I guess this was like a glowing light.
From the depths, a glowing light.
We found the wall of stones. Can we go up, please? I guess we can go this way.
Only love can face the one most vile. To save us all, a human child. Held hostage is the King of Peace. None shall be safe till he's released.
And none of that helps.
In the place where shadows creep, rests the poison of the deep.
Yes, this is supposed to be considered the poison of the deep.
What came from man must now return, lest the kingdom die, the oceans burn.
And essentially we have to get rid of it, which is probably pretty obvious, and we didn't need a prophecy to tell us that. But how do we get rid of it?
The deadly poison which lurks in the drums has been slowly released into the water, bringing disaster to the reef.
This is essentially the source of all of the misery in the world, or at least in the underwater world, and we cannot go past it. Because we're suddenly walking now. We've forgotten how to swim, even though we could swim just fine in the other screen with the suit on. This is obviously going to be useless.
The barrels are rusting. It would be unsafe to touch them.
Betting it's unsafe to be here even with your suit on. So what are we gonna do? Let's talk to Dolphin and see if he has any thoughts.
That suit's hot. I had to get it off for a second. I found it, Dolphinius. I know what the poison of the deep means in the prophecy. Somebody's dumped toxic waste in the whole bunch of barrels. It's incredible. Everything in here is dead and the barrels are leaking.
What do we do now?
I know I shouldn't touch them. My dad's been real clear with me about that. He's done a lot of research into salvaging this sort of stuff. You need experts to deal with toxic waste safely. I know some things, but I'm definitely not an expert.
Can't you figure something out?
Can't you do something, damn it?
I'm working on it.
I've been thinking about it. I don't think we found a floating orb.
We haven't. And apparently that's part of the prophecy, is it? Was a floating orb part of it? Oh. Oh, this.
A floating orb from the depth.
Oh, there's two parts to that. Yes, we have not found a floating orb. He is telling us that we do not have all of the items to solve this puzzle. Because, yes, we need to get rid of the toxic waste in here, and like Adam says, one, 8-year-old kid cannot do that on his own. So we need to signal for help. And if you remember way, way, way back to the beginning of the game, and if you don't, it doesn't matter because it's kind of clear what to do, there was a whole system with a wire or a cable and a buoy and a transmitter, and it signaled for help. So we could construct that. But we don't have all the pieces, and specifically the floating orb or the buoy. We don't have that. So we have the cable and a transmitter, and they might actually even work together.
The cable is too thin to hold the transmitter.
Or they won't. But yes, we are missing an item. The transmitter has a T on it, and we can't just use it to call for help.
That's an interesting thought. It doesn't work, though.
So this is the second part where I got stuck on when I was a kid. There were only 2 parts. Everything else kind of fell into place pretty quickly. But finding this orb was difficult. And he will give us no assistance whatsoever.
Adam
If I could
There's
catch him...
Once we have the stuff from the prophecy, we'll be able to get rid of the poison, I bet.
Yeah, he's pretty clear that we're missing an item. So something we haven't found yet. You gonna help us out on this screen, maybe?
I'm so worried about the poison.
Adam
No, stop
We've just
pacing.
got to find... I'm so worried.
Either way, one day it was like waiting for the school bus and playing this game, and I'd been stuck on this puzzle for probably days, because this was back before the internet, so you couldn't just sneak on and look for the solution, and you could call for hints, but I didn't want to do that, and it was also a 900 number, so you had to pay like $5 a hint or something. And it wasn't exactly clear what this floating orb was, but on the screen there is a toilet.
Hey, somebody got rid of a statue.
Or a statue.
Not exactly, Dolphinius. It's a useful object.
Yeah? What's it used for?
It's used for pooping.
Never mind. Anyhow, it looks like they could have fixed it.
Hey,
Never mind.
They could have fixed it, which means it's partially functional. Can we flush it?
The lid of the toilet tank is jammed in place. There's too much debris here to clear. Sitting on the toilet seat would be pointless. It wouldn't help either.
Yes, the lid is
The lid of
jammed.
the toilet tank is jammed in place.
And what can we use? Oh, stop that. What can we use to pry it? Saw? We could saw it off?
That might damage the contents.
You know what? It might. Well, I would say we could try and use this, but I was already hovering over the item that actually works.
Adam places the trident under one corner of the tank lid and yanks. The lid pops off and falls to the sand.
And inside...
Adam pulls the toilet float from inside the tank.
is the float.
What's this round thing? Oh, I know. It's called a float.
Round. Let's see, what does that remind me of?
It's the prophecy again, a floating orb. Not what I expected at all.
Yeah, we pulled part of the prophecy out of a toilet.
Even the Oracle has a sense of humor, I suppose.
Yep, this took me days to find. And the moment I found it, like, I would have beaten the game if I didn't have to go to catch the school bus.
Did I tell you that
There is
I'm glad.
And now he's not talking to us about anything because we have all the items we need to move on. We just need to actually make use of them.
No, it's too dangerous to go in there. I can sense things that you can't, and I have a very bad feeling about this. You need more protection to swim into water like that.
Yeah, that's him protesting, which I was trying to get him to do earlier. He'll only do it once, and then the entire area is just unclickable anyways. But yeah, he won't let you go in unless you have the suit, which you put back every time.
a metal box is... Adam puts on the protective suit. A group of metal drums lie rusting in this hidden... Now...
Yeah, we already heard that. So now we can begin to construct this thing that our dad had on the blackboard.
Adam fixes the sonar transmitter to the float.
Attach it to the cable.
Adam attaches the impromptu satellite buoy to the cable.
And we just use that and wrap it around the toxic drums. Or at least one of them.
Adam turns on the transmitter and attaches his improvised satellite buoy to the barrel. The float rises toward the surface. The transmitter is emitting a constant, powerful signal.
That's an annoying sound.
Adam watches from a distance as the divers carefully collect the drums. Grimly, they bear them to the surface and stow them on the boat for safe disposal on land. Adam gives the metal box and suit as evidence of illegal dumping. He returns to the reef to find Dolphinius and continue the search for Cetus.
Adam, you did it. The poison is gone. The first part of the prophecy is fulfilled.
They've taken it away, that's true. But I'm afraid it will be a long time before anything can survive here. We also have to worry about catching the people who did this. It looks to me like they've been using this spot for a while. But that's something I'll have to leave up to my dad.
And we still haven't found Cetus.
Yep. And none of those people who cleared away this, like, massive toxic waste dump, which probably it had to have taken days. It certainly wasn't just like over the course of a half hour. Didn't wonder why there was this 8-year-old kid down here. And so close to where our dad works, they probably knew who we were. Oops, I did not mean to go there as I was walking around randomly. But we don't have to worry about the suit, so it doesn't matter. And yes, so now we can continue our search. And judging by our points, we're getting close to the end. And I don't think I'm going to get max points. I feel like I've missed out on something. I think I might know where it is, too, but, we'll see. Okay,
Far in the distance is a cave mouth. It looks like a gaping wound.
a cave.
The harpoon gun is a reminder of the dreadful practice of whale hunting. This one has been triggered.
We're searching for a whale. And there's a harpoon gun that has been triggered. I'm betting the whale's nowhere near here.
The cable from the harpoon is still attached to the gun.
Even more reason to think that the whale's nowhere near here.
The ship's cabin door is jammed shut. A cable from the harpoon gun is caught in a corner of the cabin door.
Well, let's check out this cave.
Adam, I don't like the looks of it here.
Oh, I didn't know that would actually trigger that.
Adam!
That sound just sounded silly. There's a puzzle to do to get the door open. If you were to actually do that, it would also trigger this little scene. You can hear creepy music, and in fact, if you look really close up there, you can see eyes watching us.
But behind you! Flesh Eater, run!
And of course we can't run because we're swimming, but let's get the hell out of here. We don't even have to worry about it. We can just sit back and watch.
Adam and Delphinius flee in terror from the huge flesh-eating monster.
Except for the fact that there's dialogue. This runs so much faster than on my, like, old 286.
With a feeling of utter helplessness, Adam prepares to feel the sharp bite of Flesh Eater's jaws. The monster is so close that his hot wake ruffles the back of Adam's neck. In their panicked terror of the danger behind them, Adam and Delphinius fail to notice the danger in front of them. They both plow head first into the drift net.
Fucking humans. Yep. So now we're just back where we started at the beginning of the game, but we're also screwed as well, and there's something trying to eat us.
The nylon mesh wraps its arms around them. The two are trapped.
Dolphinius, we're trapped.
Adam, you've got to save yourself. I'll never get out of this thing, but you still have a chance.
I won't leave you, Del.
So what? We both end up manta food? Do it, Adam. Save yourself.
Adam waits for the manta to finish them off. Two helpless victims trapped in the net. To his surprise, Flesh Eater only circles them.
I don't know what happens if we just sit here. I'm pretty sure nothing.
The horrid monster Flesh Eater only circles them as though gloating over his treasures. Adam can't do anything to the manta while he's tangled in the net. Flesh Eater's toying with them.
Yep.
The horrid monster. Delphinius struggles madly in the net. He's clearly terrified and unable to free himself.
Actually sounded pretty coherent when we just talked to him a second ago. He was being very, I don't know, self-sacrificing? I don't know. Saw our way out?
Adam can't wield that hacksaw while he's entangled. It's too big. Besides, the hacksaw is too dangerous to use so close to Adam's flesh.
Okay. Well, we do still have this sharp shell.
Adam, you'd better hurry. He's gonna get bored with this game real quickly.
Yeah, I don't think he actually ever does. But I don't want to waste time finding out. Because, like I said, the game's probably not unwinnable. At the very least, it'll, like, reset you. But I don't even think that would happen. But let's cut ourselves out.
Adam maneuvers the sharp shell around and begins to rub it against the nylon net. The shell saws through the nylon, loosening the net's grasp on Adam. He's free.
Hooray!
You did it, Adam. Now get out of here, fast.
But we have to save you.
Are you crazy? What kind of friend do you think I am?
Adam turns back frantically to cut loose his friend. But before he can free Delphinius, Flesh Eater swoops in. Enraged to see one of his victims escape and determined not to lose the other, he seizes the net with poor Delphinius still in it.
He is a lot bigger in this close-up than he was when he was chasing after us.
And knocks Adam aside with one flick of his huge wing.
Whack. You did not go that far.
Adam, find Cetus. Only he can save me now.
And he is off to his cave.
Adam finds himself suddenly alone. The drift net with its precious cargo and the monster are gone. What on earth, Adam thinks, can he do now? And will he ever see Delphinius again?
Maybe. Let's go back up and find him.
The driftnet that once spread death is now gone. And so is Delphinius.
Okay, at least that makes sense. So that drift net was the one that we already knew was there. So at least I was kind of feeling like there's 3 drift nets now, just kind of randomly. They're kind of overusing that theme, but that was the one that was already there and we already saved the lobster from. Just looks completely different. And all of the dead things had been removed. Well, let's go back because we could go back to town, but nobody's going to help us. We need to go and find Cetus, like you said. Or we could go and confront Flesh Eater now.
Adam gathers up his courage and approaches Flesh Eater's lair, determined to save his friend Delphinius.
Oh, I was expecting that not to work. Okay.
But the horrid manta is not in the mood for guests, and sends Adam flying as easily as a human might swat a gnat.
I was gonna say, I don't think we could do anything in there.
Adam is no match for the great brute. If Delphinius is to be saved, Adam must find Cetus.
Yes, we must complete the game. Well, the only other obvious place to go is to the left, and we of course can't do it without opening the door. We can't swim around the boat, we have to go through it.
It's stuck. The cable's really wedged in there.
If we had done that at that point with Dolphinius still around, that's when Flesh Eater would start doing his chase, but instead we just decided to go up there. Because I didn't know what would happen. Well, we've already used this for prying, so let's just do it again.
Adam wedges the trident under the crack of the bloated ship's door and pushes on the handle as hard as he can. The waterlogged wood suddenly gives way, and the door pops free of its frame. The cable that had been jammed under the door suddenly jerks tight as though pulled by a mighty weight. And through the open ship's door, Adam hears a sound. A sound unmistakably sad, unmistakably deep, unmistakably haunting. Unmistakably a whale's call.
One that we couldn't hear, like, we're not that far from the city. But yeah, that's definitely a whale call.
There's something big on the other end of that cable.
Well, let's cut him free.
Adam can't
No.
Adam can't do anything with the ship.
What?
Adam can't do anything to the cable
Oh.
from this side of the coral cave.
Yeah, that's like metal cable or something. It won't work. Well, let's go through the ship.
The whale call is louder here. It's echoing down from somewhere above the ship.
Let's go.
Adam holds his breath with anticipation and swims up to investigate. Following the taut cable up and up towards the surface light.
What will we find up there?
Up and up, not looking where he's going. Until suddenly,
holy shit, it's a
Whoa.
whale. And we bump
It's
into it.
Cetus.
Yeah, we win the game. We were on a search for Cetus, and we found Cetus.
the mighty Cetus floats helplessly near the ocean's surface. He is terribly still.
But he is still... This looks really kind of ridiculous, and like like something that enormously huge should have probably been able to remove this harpoon. But I guess they're made to not have them do that. Or something. I don't know. So we have found Cetus, so that's good, and he will maybe help us find, or not find, because we know where Delphinius is, but save Delphinius. But we will do that in the next video, because I think that actually might be the last video, because we don't have a whole lot left to do, even though we've got 100 points left to go. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to max out those. And we've already found Cetus, so there's really only a couple of loose ends to tie up, and then I guess the world is safe. So I will hopefully see you back in the next video, which will probably be the end of the video, or yeah, the end of the videos. Something like that. Anyways, later.